So like...
Oh, no, two-time unified heavyweight champion, so far so good.
Oh, with boxing, yeah, 100%. But what I'm saying now is there's another level of fitness.
Yeah.
You guys wanted me to go bigger? How about twice as big?
You're right. If Anthony Joshua was to do what he done to Ngannou, to Jake Paul, that's like life-changing injuries.
Anthony Joshua has shocked fans with a powerful new physique that looks built for destruction. Leaner, more defined, and noticeably explosive, AJ's transformation has dominated boxing discussions. His razor-sharp shoulders, rebuilt frame, and renewed championship aura have sent a strong message to Jake Paul. Joshua isn't just back, he's dangerous.
Only way we're gonna win a 12-round fight is if you push yourself in the gym. So, yeah, that's what I like about the world-class boxing gym.
Everyone says they want to be a world champ, but people are not willing to do what it takes to become a world champ. And even in this gym, it's like you're put through the test because, I mean, it's one thing to say you want to hang out with champs and hang out with other fighters, another thing to be able to endure the workout and endure the work, so it's a big thing. He's been pushing himself. He's asking me, what can I do more? How can I be better? How can I build my fitness more? And that's really a sign of a great individual and a great champion. Someone who really...
Joshua explained that his size isn't the result of any sudden change. It's simply his natural genetics, strengthened through hard work and disciplined training. He emphasized that once his natural power is fully activated, it becomes a serious threat to anyone who steps into the ring. With Jake Paul as his potential opponent, Joshua made it clear he isn't building muscle for aesthetics. He's unlocking the force that already exists within him, and that could spell serious trouble for Jake Paul.
A lot of road work. So even though I'm big, this is just genetics.
Right, definitely, yeah.
It's not like I spend hours in the gym like lifting. You can't run 10 miles and only spar 4 rounds. You have to run 4 miles and spar 10 rounds. Yeah, like what I'm trying to say is gym work's important with your coach. All this stuff is just the core stuff, this stuff is just the extra add-ons that you're gonna get. But you have to have good technique, you have to have a good understanding of boxing. Like, that's your muscle, your brain. That's what a coach is gonna train you mostly. Like, he wants to train this. And if you've got that at its strongest, yeah, I feel like you'll be good.
Yeah, and so far so good, Fake.
Jake Paul has openly acknowledged the massive size difference between him and Joshua, but instead of backing down, he's using it as motivation. He said that people have always told him to fight someone his own size, so he decided to take it even further by challenging someone twice his size. For Jake, this fight represents the ultimate test of courage and legitimacy. Still, despite his confidence, even he recognizes the huge physical risks involved.
You guys wanted me to go bigger? How about twice as big? Literally, he's twice as big as Gervonta. He's 6'6", 260 pounds with an 82-inch reach. I mean, just look at us next to each other. Two-time heavyweight champion of the world, an Olympic gold medalist. While he was winning Olympic gold, I was filming Vines in high school. What'd you say? AJ is a knockout artist with fights that have literally ended in seconds. He's fought legends, Klitschko, Usyk, Ruiz, Ngannou.
Biggest shot.
The tale of the tape between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul reveals staggering differences. Joshua stands 6 feet 6 inches with an 82-inch reach and a heavyweight frame over 240 pounds. Jake Paul at 6 feet 1 inch with a 76-inch reach and around 200 pounds gives up major height, power, and reach. Joshua's longer reach allows him to dominate distance, while his weight brings knockout-level punch power. For Paul to survive, he must rely purely on movement, timing, and speed.
Looking at the age difference, we've got 28 years old compared to 36 years old. So I guess the advantage there goes a little bit towards Jake Paul. 28-year-old is better than a 36-year-old. But that being said, we've got talking about experience and everything else, what comes with being 36 years old at Anthony Joshua's level. And then, like I mentioned, the heavyweights kind of seem to prime a little bit older. They'll come down to the height and the weight. This is the big one. 6'1" versus 6'6". 200 pounds versus 252 pounds. We got a 252 pounder contender in Anthony Joshua. The reach advantage is a lot, which we would expect. Amateur fights, we can see that Jake's only had one, where AJ's had 43, but 43 of them are included at the highest level, Olympic level. And yes, he won the Olympic bloody gold medal, if I don't need to remind you. Then the pro record, Jake Paul has had 13 fights, lost one. AJ has had 28 fights and he's lost 4 with 25 KOs. And the one person that Jake Paul lost to was Tommy Fury. Now, can we compare Tommy Fury with Anthony Joshua?
Experts agree that these physical advantages could define the entire fight. If Joshua uses his reach and size properly, Jake will struggle to close the distance without taking serious damage. The gap in power alone could make this an overwhelming night for Paul.
To the people who say Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight.
Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, 2-time unified heavyweight champion of the world.
I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight?
It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is...
Matchroom Boxing CEO Frank Smith has commented cautiously on the potential matchup. While he hasn't dismissed it, he believes Joshua's comeback fight likely won't be against Jake Paul just yet. Smith highlighted the massive gap in experience and pedigree between the two fighters, though he also admitted discussions for a 2026 bout are ongoing, proof that the business side of boxing remains unpredictable.
Because I remember when like Tyson fought Ngannou the first time, he was like, this isn't my cup of tea, and then obviously he ended up fighting Ngannou, and so I didn't know if this was a bridge too far for him.
No, I think for AJ it was just, look, he's done everything in the sport. He's been, like I say, he's a 2-time unified champion. He's fought the best, the elite fighters in, Alexander Usyk twice. And for him, it's just, right, I want to do things that interest me, motivate me. And obviously, if you can go and do that for a load of money against someone, fair play. I think me and Jake Paul might be more competitive than Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua.
Oh, my dear.
I actually want to make, as the comeback fight for Jake Paul, Eddie Hearn, Jake Paul.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't you think that would be big? As the comeback fight?
Yeah, like meaning after he loses this one.
For Jake's comeback fight.
You think Eddie would be down?
For money.
Could you imagine?
I know. I'd happily negotiate with Nikita.
Tony Bellew has expressed strong doubts that the fight should even happen. He believes the matchup is too one-sided and that Jake Paul would be risking his health. To Bellew, this fight feels like a spectacle built for money more than competition. He insists that Joshua would dominate every second of the encounter.
I don't believe a single thing until literally I see them in a ring together. He was supposed to fight Gervonta Davis, wasn't he? Who's 5 stone lighter and is 5 stone lighter and 8 inches shorter. So I don't believe anything. Until they're in a ring together, I don't believe nothing.
Obviously, AJ was meant to fight in an 8-rounder. I think Eddie said to me earlier against
an 8-rounder.
Yeah, okay. Against a top 120 opponent on BoxRec that none of us would have heard of. Okay. Just a kind of confidence, go and get a knockout type victory. I suppose you can go and do that against Jake Paul and earn an absolute fortune from
Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Boxing is a brutal, brutal business. Go and make as much as you can, as quick as you can. Once you've achieved your dream and goals of becoming a world champion, there's nothing left to do besides make money. What are you chasing? You've won all the belts. I think he's missing a WBC, I think that's about it. Go and get the belts and that's it. Move on.
Do you believe it should be sanctioned?
What I believe doesn't matter.
No, but I'm just curious.
What I believe doesn't matter because some governing body will. Of
course.
Or some sanctioning body will.
Of course.
Some
the Florida State
organisation. Yeah, absolute maniacs. But that's another argument. That's another cause. It's like the one I heard Chris Eubank Sr. talking about on the radio the other day. You're talking about safety of fighters. Champ, you were the worst for it. You went up to cruiserweight when you were super middleweight and didn't do it once but twice. And then you're saying people should have saved you from yourself. No, that's why we're fighters. So it's boxing. We know what we sign up for. We know what...
Many experts argue that if Joshua doesn't knock out Paul early, it could be embarrassing. Because the matchup appears so mismatched, anything less than a decisive knockout might damage Joshua's reputation.
It's a proper fight, is it? We'll hear some proper talk then. If Anthony Joshua doesn't knock out Jake Paul within 6 minutes, it's embarrassing. Not only for him, but also for the sport of boxing. And if he does knock him out within 6 minutes, because it's a proper fight, boxing better pray that there's no lasting damage to Jake Paul. The phrase "fuck around and find out" springs to mind. This is not a game. You don't play boxing, especially not with a 2-time unified heavyweight world champion in his athletic prime. If you're gonna deal with clowns...
According to Johnny Nelson, Joshua is in a lose-lose scenario. If Jake Paul goes the distance, critics will question Joshua's power and motivation. For Nelson, a heavyweight of Joshua's caliber should dispatch Paul quickly. Anything else would raise uncomfortable questions.
It's going to be a proper fight.
I do believe it because AJ's involved, and I think AJ'd struggle to he's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an Owen situation. If he goes in there and Jake Paul lasted the distance, what does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what do you say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, I've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got us to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play. You can play football, golf, tennis.
Nelson also praised Jake Paul's business skills, calling him a genius for how he has monetized himself. But he remains skeptical about his boxing credibility. Paul earns world champion level money without taking the traditional path of lifelong training or climbing through elite competition. Nelson believes Paul's real strength is marketing, not boxing mastery.
Daniel Dubois, he's going to be 35 years of age. It's crazy what I'm about to ask you, but can Jake Paul really beat Anthony Joshua?
All right, listen, I give all credit. Everyone knows that. They get mad at me that I gave too much credit to Paul. Why? He's done a hell of a job to put himself in this position. He sold himself. He sold his dream. He took his dream. He took his idea. And he put it out there, and he made it happen. Give him credit for that. And he made it happen. And he took risk along the way. Yeah, he picked his spots. He's in the driver's seat. He gets to pick his spots. He's the one bringing the money. He's the one promoting. Yeah, he's the name. He made himself that, coming from where he came from, with all his followers and the whole thing, and just the uniqueness of what he was doing. But he has learned along the way. He's not a top guy yet. No, I don't know that he ever will be. He didn't have that amateur background and the things that you usually need.
Jake Paul's ambitions extend beyond boxing. He has repeatedly called out MMA star Conor McGregor. Paul claims he's improving while McGregor is declining, a statement many fans find unrealistic given McGregor's combat pedigree. Still, these bold challenges have made Jake one of the most polarizing figures in the sport. Fans are fascinated by the idea of Joshua humbling Paul and ending his long streak of high-profile callouts.
You have got to be taking the mick. Jake Paul has called out Anthony Joshua and claims, "I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass." You know what? I want this to happen just so Anthony Joshua could just absolutely decimate this man right here. So first he fights Tommy Fury, a legitimate professional boxer, and he loses. Then he fights an OAP and Mike Tyson and beats him. Obviously, he's nearly 60 years old. Then he goes to try and fight Canelo, which fell through, thankfully. Then he tried to fight Tank Davis, which again fell through. And now he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, a legit world-level heavyweight boxer. Anthony Joshua is someone that I've always looked up to and probably one of my favourite boxers to this day and age. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Jake Paul here and there, but there's just things he does in the sport that I don't agree with at all. And fighting Anthony Joshua, listen, I'm all here for it, just to see him get knocked clean out. The fact that he thinks he can compete with these high-level boxers, even though he lost to Tommy Fury, is just laughable. But how long does it take for Anthony Joshua to knock Jake Paul out?
Jake Paul has become boxing's biggest financial attraction. In 2021 alone, he reportedly made over $40 million from fighting. His pay-per-view sales are massive, and being his own promoter allows him to maximize profits. Despite his loss to Tommy Fury, he continues positioning himself as boxing's top entertainer and one of its biggest earners.
Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40. Yeah, I think that's what I'd heard. You know, which I'm happy Mike got the money, and I'm happy that he didn't get hurt. That was my fear, that it was going to be a real fight and he was going to get hurt.
You've known him for a long time. I've known him for a long time.
I love that dude.
Me too.
And he was a larger than life figure of my childhood.
Truly, me
when
too.
I was a kid, when he was the champ, it was like people don't understand what a champ he was. Like he wasn't just the heavyweight champ of the world. He was an executioner. Like
Truly.
Every fight was just a matter of how long was it going to last.
Which fight it was that I went to go see a couple of fights, and I actually went to go see Julio Cesar Chavez fight, and that's when I met.
Anthony Joshua, unlike some traditional fighters, acknowledges the positive impact of YouTube boxing. He believes influencers like Jake Paul have brought millions of young fans into the sport, increasing viewership and exposure across the board.
This YouTube
10
for
out
the
of 10.
boxing scene.
I'm telling you, it's good for boxing because I'm saying it's showing people you can fight someone that is well-known, credible, can fight, marketable, without a championship, and have that same effect early on in your career, and you can still get all the rewards anyway. So I think that they're showing guys, oh, hang on a minute, there's so much potential in boxing regardless of championships, and I think it's good because now people start taking more risks early on. These guys coming into the game are changing the landscape for the better, showcasing that if you have a business mind on, marketable, creative, content driven, obviously talented, you can generate.
So the big question remains, will AJ dominate with ease, or can Jake Paul somehow pull off the